Hey everybody, welcome to Alaska Brew and Q. I'm Neil, and I wanted to start things off with my favorite thing to cook. It's a crowd pleaser. It's pretty much everybody's favorite around here. It's my spin on a pulled pork and pulled pork sandwich. So today we're gonna get started with a nice about 7.5 pound pork butt. So you'll see here, nice fat cap on the back, meat side on this side. We're gonna go ahead and leave the bone in because that's basically nature's doneness thermometer here, so we'll know it's done basically when that bone will pull right out, and it's going to be beautiful. So we'll get started with rubbing things down. Today I'm just going to use my favorite rub here, just the standard Chupacabra rub. You can get that online, and it's a small company in Texas that does it. It's fantastic. It works well on everything, and it makes a really great bark on a pulled pork. So first things first, we've had this thing sitting out for about an hour to come up to room temperature, help it cook a little more evenly, and then we're going to start out by putting a little bit of, I use olive oil on the outside just to kind of help the rub stick to the outside of the meat. You can use a little bit of water. You can use, a lot of people use mustard. I mean, it kind of really whatever you want to do. So we're just going to put a light little drizzle on here, rub it all over, get on the sides too, make sure we're getting everything. Just kind of get it a little bit, work it all the way around. Make sure it's nice, makes a nice sticky surface for the rub. And then we're going to start with the rub, and I like to go a little heavy-handed with the rub because it seems to, the pork seems to really take well to it, and it makes a really nice bark all along. So I want to make sure we get it all over the sides here, just like that. Just a nice even shake, making sure we're getting a little bit of all of the rub in there, get it all over. And we're going to cook this fat side down, so you don't need to season the fat side as much, but I like to get a nice heavy dose of it right here on top and on the sides. Alright, so there we go. We're all ready to go. Now we're going to go and get the pit fired up, get this thing on the grill, and see what happens. Alright, now we've got the pit boss at about 250 degrees. We're going to try to keep it there all day between 250 and 275. Get a nice low and slow cook on this pork butt. I'm going to baste it a couple times along the way, and then we'll wrap it about halfway through. So first thing we're gonna do, we'll get the pork on here. You grab it, go fat side down, right there on the grill. And then what I'm gonna do, I'll put a little bit, shut that off, put a little bit of rub on the top just for fun. Just a little bit more. And then we'll take our handy dandy meat thermometer here, right in the top, down deep into that meat right there. And then what I like to do is take another one, put it right on the grill, right next to the meat. Now the pit boss does a really good job of keeping pretty steady temperature, but what I like to do is put another one right there next to the meat just in case. You know, you never know if something might happen, and this will keep you, it'll alarm in case you have a problem with maybe the pellets got stuck, getting maybe pellets in there, the temperature went down, things like that. So it'll save you an expensive piece of meat just on the off chance something happens. So what we'll do is we're going to let this sit nice in the smoke until it hits about 160 degrees internally, and then we're going to wrap it. So we'll come back about that time. All right, and we're back. We're about a few hours in here, and we're at about 133 degrees on there, so we're not quite ready to wrap it yet, but we're just going to come in, kind of give it a couple sprays right around here, keep that bark a little moist so it doesn't dry out too much, and kind of let it keep going. So I'm spraying it here just with some apple cider vinegar, and there's my low temperature alarm right there. Some apple cider vinegar mixed with water, so nothing really special. You can use kind of pretty much anything you want. Apple juice, or hell, you can even use beer if you really wanted to. But anyway, we're just gonna let this sit and go until about 160, come back, wrap it in foil, and keep on cooking. We're at 160 degrees, so now you can see that bark is looking really nice. It's nice and moist, hasn't dried out. Everything looks really fantastic. So now what we're gonna do, we got our trusty foil here. What we're gonna do, take the butt out, lay it in the foil, wrap it up. There's no real special way to wrap it up, just close it up in the foil. What we're doing is protecting that bark, protecting that meat from too much smoke. You don't want it to dry out. Get dry, get overdone, get crispy, get that charred taste that you don't like from too much smoke. We're just gonna wrap it up here. Done. And then, you know, back on the pit the way it was. Put our temperature probe back in. It's right in there. Nice deep part of the meat. Set our other temperature probe right here on the grill right next to it, like we did earlier. And that's all we got to do. Close it up. And then wait a few more hours and it'll be ready to go. So we'll be taking this up to about 198 degrees, between 198 and 200. Should take about 3-4 more hours. We'll be ready to go. Now we're at about 200 degrees internal temperature. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and take it out the grill, bring it inside, let it rest for about 30 to 45 minutes, kind of let all the juices recombine, let everything get back in there, and then we'll get it out, pull it up, and we'll eat. All right, we're all ready to go. The meat's good and rested. We ended up altering the plan a little bit. This got done a little bit earlier. We put it to rest in the old cooler here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Not a big deal, still gonna be nice and hot. This way all the juices can recombine. The meat's gonna be super tender and juicy. So we'll go ahead and get it out of the cooler here, put it into our nice little foil pan to catch the juices so we don't get juices everywhere. And then we talked about earlier with that shoulder bone coming out. See how nicely that comes out right there, so that's perfect. This is gonna pull really, really well. So just like that, so it comes apart, perfect. Got that nice bark on the outside, that chupacabra sauce. It's gonna be perfect. There we go. All right, all we're gonna do here is just, you can pull it out, pull it into strands, get it right there. See how the meat just comes right apart, just like that. Still been resting for almost 2 hours and it's still screaming hot. So no worries about it getting cold or anything. So all we're gonna do is just keep pulling it out like this, and then we're gonna have a beautiful set of pulled pork, just like that. Now we've got everything pulled. We've got a giant mountain, delicious pulled pork here, and you can see how it pulled just magically right in your hands like that. It's fantastic. One thing I like to do when we're making sandwiches is leave it a little bit bigger, a little bit chunkier. I feel like that helps hold the sandwich together a little bit more. So I guess all there's left to do is assemble the sandwich. So first thing we're gonna do, get a nice country potato roll here. We'll get a little mixture of pulled pork, the bark, the inner muscles, all that. Put a nice dollop of coleslaw on there. And the one thing I like to do a little bit differently is we make more of what I call a Baja style coleslaw, which is half a head of cabbage, quarter of a red onion, a jalapeno without the seeds because I don't like it too spicy, some cilantro, and then the dressing is just some mayonnaise and juice of half a lime. So it's really simple. It's nice. It gives it a nice fresh taste to it. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna top it with some pickled red onions and a little bit of homemade barbecue sauce on the old bun here, just like that. Nice and thick the way we like it. Put that together and then you have a beautiful sandwich. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to dig into this thing. So let's see here before we can get it, before it all falls apart everywhere. Just, There you go, everybody. Beautiful Alaska pulled pork sandwich that we're gonna pair with a nice Frontiersman IPA. So my favorite thing to cook, favorite thing to eat, favorite beer to drink. So here we go. Cheers, everybody. Hey everybody, Neil here again. And if you like what we're starting here at Alaska Brew & Q, I'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up. You can also follow us on Instagram at AKBrewandQ. And we look forward to seeing you again next time.